Today, we're looking at something we all think we know,
Hmm.
reading, but maybe we don't fully appreciate its power.
Right. In this age of, constant information, screens everywhere, does reading still hold up?
Exactly. We're getting into an essay called The Joy and Benefits of Reading. And it suggests reading isn't just surviving, it's almost like a stealth superpower.
A superpower. I like that framing.
Yeah. So our mission today is to unpack that. How does this simple skill give us this, like, shortcut to knowledge, better language even, well, even pleasure and calm? We want you to walk away with some real insights.
Things you can actually use.
Definitely. So let me start by asking you, listening right now, have you ever really stopped to think about how reading changes the way you think? Beyond just, taking in facts.
It's a good question to kick off with.
Because this essay, it starts right out calling reading a valuable skill that helps us in many ways. That sounds simple, but
Yeah.
what are those foundational ways, maybe the ones we don't always think about?
Well, it's interesting. The essay immediately points to two core things that are deeply connected. First, just plain learning new stuff.
Okay, the obvious one.
Right, learning new things. But second, and this is crucial, improving our language. And it's not just about collecting facts or words, it's more like building the underlying infrastructure for how we think and talk.
Infrastructure. Explain that a bit more.
Think about it, without reading, yeah, our access to knowledge is limited, but maybe more importantly, our ability to really think complex thoughts, to express ourselves with any nuance, that would be seriously held back.
Right. So it's shaping how we process information, not just what we process.
Precisely.
And the essay gets specific about language, doesn't it? It says, reading helps us grow our vocabulary and understand grammar better. We all kind of get the vocabulary part, but the grammar. How does reading embed grammar rules? Maybe even better than, say, studying a grammar book.
That's a great question. It touches on how we actually acquire language. So the source mentions books, articles, websites. They introduce new words and sentence structures.
But it's more than just seeing a new word. You see it in context. Your brain is constantly sort of figuring out how words fit together, the patterns, the appropriate usage. It's not just the definition.
Okay, so it's learning by seeing it used correctly, repeatedly.
Exactly. It's like developing an intuition for the language.
Yeah.
And grammar works similarly, but maybe even more subconsciously.
Yeah.
You read millions of well-formed sentences, different styles, different lengths.
You just absorb it.
You absorb the deep structure, yeah, like
Sure.
learning music by listening. You internalize the rules, the feel, without maybe consciously breaking it all down. It builds this really robust, intuitive grasp of grammar.
So what about reading stuff that's maybe not perfectly written? Is there a risk you absorb bad grammar?
That's a fair point.
Right.
But generally, if you're reading mostly well-edited material,
Mhm.
the sheer volume of correct patterns usually wins out. Your brain is good at recognizing the dominant patterns.
Yeah.
It actually tends to make you better at spotting errors or awkward sentences in poorly written stuff. You develop this kind of internal filter almost,
It-
an internal grammar checker. I like that. It makes sense then why the essay says this process makes speaking and writing easier and more natural.
It really does.
How does that play out practically? I mean, for someone who isn't a professional writer,
Right.
say you're preparing for a big meeting or need to write an important email.
Oh, the impact is huge. Think about the mental effort involved in communicating. If you're struggling to find the right word or how to phrase something,
It's exhausting.
right, a lot of your brain power is going into the mechanics, not the message. Reading well, and often, helps automate those mechanics.
Okay.
So when you speak, you're more fluent, more confident. You can articulate complex ideas more clearly. In that meeting you mentioned, being precise can make all the difference.
Mm-hmm. Getting your point across effectively.
And for writing, it's even clearer. Emails, reports, even just texts or social media. It becomes less of a struggle. You have the words, you intuitively know how to structure sentences. It means your communication is clearer and it takes less effort.
So you free up mental energy for the actual thinking, the strategy.
Exactly. You can focus on the content, the connection, because the language part flows more easily.
Well, that's a massive advantage. But okay, let's shift gears a little, because the essay also highlights something maybe less utilitarian, but just as important. Reading is also fun.
Yes, the joy factor.
He talks about stories taking us places, meeting characters. What's actually happening in our brain when a story transports us like that? Is it different from just zoning out with, say, a TV show?
It's quite different, actually. It's not passive at all. When you're immersed in a story, neuroscientists find that your brain activates regions as if you were actually experiencing those events or emotions.
Really?
Yeah, your brain runs these complex simulations, understanding characters' motives, navigating social situations, thinking through dilemmas presented in the plot. It's basically enhancing your theory of mind.
Theory of mind, like understanding other people.
Exactly. Your ability to grasp what others might be thinking or feeling, reading fictions is like empathy training you don't even realize you're doing.
Wow. Stealth empathy training.
And unlike watching something where the visuals are provided, reading forces you to create the world, the characters in your own mind. That active engagement, that visualization is a much deeper cognitive workout.
Right, you're co-creating it.
You are. And that strengthens neural pathways, boosts creativity. You get to explore all these different lives and worlds from your armchair, expanding your perspective in a really low-stakes way.
That makes sense. And the essay emphasizes the variety, too. It says, we can read about history, science, or even mysteries. And then some people enjoy novels, while others prefer magazines or comics. There is something for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that breadth, that idea that it doesn't have to be, dense literature to count?
It's incredibly important. It breaks down that intimidating idea of what a reader is supposed to be.
Mm.
If you're not into classic novels, fine. Maybe you love deep dive articles on tech, or maybe graphic novels are your thing.
So it lowers the barrier to entry.
Totally. It shifts it from feeling like homework to finding what genuinely sparks your interest. And reading different things, fiction, nonfiction, science, history, comics, it actually makes your brain more flexible.
How so?
You're constantly switching gears, adapting to different styles, different levels of detail, different perspectives. That mental agility is super useful for everything. For problem solving in real life.
So it's not just about finding something to read, but maybe even mixing it up.
Yeah, mixing it up definitely helps build that cognitive flexibility. It challenges the idea that I don't like reading. It's more like you just haven't found the reading that clicks for you yet.
Okay, that's very empowering. Find what you love, and the benefits follow. Now, there's another benefit mentioned which feels really relevant right now. The essay says another great thing about reading is that it helps us relax.
Ah, yes, the calming effect.
After a busy day, reading can make us feel calm. It is a good way to spend time alone and enjoy quiet moments.
How does reading do this? Is it different from just, listening to music or watching something chill? It seems to be quite distinct. Firstly, reading demands focus, a single focus. Unlike, say, scrolling your phone where your attention is fragmented.
Right.
When you get lost in a book or an article, you're engaging your mind in this sustained, gentle way. It naturally pulls you away from the day's stresses, the mental chatter. It's almost like active mindfulness.
Interesting. Active mindfulness.
And secondly, there's the physical aspect. We usually read sitting down, maybe somewhere quiet, comfortable. That physical stillness combined with the mental focus, it can literally lower your heart rate, ease muscle tension.
Okay, so body and mind working together.
Yeah, it's a real escape from the constant buzz of notifications, the digital overwhelm. You're deliberately choosing quiet, choosing solitude for a bit. And that's incredibly restorative. It lets your brain actually decompress.
A deliberate withdrawal. We probably all need more of that.
I think so.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Language building, knowledge, empathy, joy, relaxation. It really does sound like a superpower when you break it down.
It really does.
The essay then wraps up with some very practical advice. It says, reading every day, even for a short time, is helpful. Not hours, just consistency. What's the magic in that short time approach?
That might be the most crucial bit of advice, honestly. It makes it achievable. The power isn't in marathon reading sessions. It's in the habit. Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day, it adds up incredibly fast. Think about the compounding effect over weeks, months, years. You're constantly feeding your mind new ideas, words, perspectives, moments of calm, without it feeling like a huge chore.
Compounding interest for the mind. I like that.
Exactly. And the essay notes this daily practice improves our knowledge and makes learning enjoyable. That's the key. It normalizes learning. It weaves it into your daily life in a way that feels natural, even pleasurable.
So it's not just about what you learn in those 15 minutes, but about keeping that learning muscle active and enjoying the process.
Precisely. It keeps you curious, keeps your mind sharp, keeps you engaged with the world almost effortlessly.
Okay, that's a fantastic way to synthesize it. Reading, even in small daily doses, makes learning enjoyable, natural, and deeply enriching. It's a pathway to knowledge, a tool for language, a source of joy and empathy, and a way to find quiet. A stealth superpower indeed.
Well said.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's build on that final thought from the essay. So pick up a book or an article and start reading today. It sounds simple,
Powerful.
powerful. So here's the thought I want to leave you with. If any reading, even for a few minutes, unlocks all these benefits, knowledge, language, joy, calm, what potential is waiting for you if you try reading something, well, something you wouldn't normally choose?
Pushing the boundaries a bit.
Yeah. The essay mentions everything from novels, magazines, or comics to history, science, or even mysteries. There really is something for everyone. So what if you step just slightly outside your reading comfort zone?
Like trying a science article if you usually read fiction, or a graphic novel if you stick to nonfiction.
Exactly. What new world, what new idea, maybe even what new part of yourself might you discover? That's your thought to ponder until our next deep dive. What new mental muscle could you flex just by reading a little differently?